Glad to have a good turnout tonight despite a possible tropical depression passing near us. So I appreciate you coming out.
Hi everyone, I'm Nadya and I'm running for Cambridge City Council, as we all are. So I'm very excited to be here today with A Better Cambridge, because to me, A Better Cambridge is about home and making more opportunities to find home. Okay, I'm gonna try not to get too emotional, so I was born in New York City, but I grew up with a lot of domestic violence and housing instability. And Cambridge was always a safe place my family would return to. Regularly growing up, at least multiple times a year, my godmother has lived for decades on Appleton Street. And this really was a home for us, even when we didn't have one, or didn't feel like we had a safe home to go back to. And this concept of home is something of why I'm running. I'm running because I want to protect this concept of home for all residents, regardless of their race, their religion, their socioeconomic status, their age, how long they've been here, where they came from. I have deep admiration for everyone sitting up here, because running for office is probably the most terrifying thing I've ever done. It's one of the most exhausting things. My campaign team and I have knocked on over 13,000 doors since I launched, and we have the blisters to prove it. But what keeps me going is the conversations that I have, and this hope that we can get past just not only building affordable units, but making this an affordable and livable city for all people, regardless of their socioeconomic status. I'm running because I really think that I can add this unique perspective of someone who has experienced housing instability, someone who has a fundamental with the relationship with the universities to push forward more community-minded university relations, especially around real estate development. And as a young entrepreneur, my background is in nonprofit management. I run Period.org, which is the largest youth-run NGO in women's health. We have about 110 campus chapters at universities and high schools, and I've worked in policy from the local to the federal level on access to healthcare for reproductive rights. My background as someone who cares deeply about this city as home and cares about preserving the city as home for all residents is what makes me a strong candidate for City Council, and I hope you give me your #1 vote on November 7th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. How should Cambridge cooperate with surrounding communities and the state government to solve these problems?
I would totally stand in support of everything Jan just said, and to add to that as well, I think that there are other opportunities that we can continue to work together with the neighboring regions, but then also with the state as well. Regarding transportation, it's anywhere from clearing up traffic in the roads that go through our regions, but also in the way of public transportation as well. Public transportation, we are seeing that there is a lot of traffic of people who are either living in Somerville or living in Boston, and obviously using a lot of the lines to come and work in Cambridge or come enjoy what the city has to offer as well. And I think that there is a lot of opportunities to work together, and we're already seeing that come into place as we start to work on creating more frequent trips and create more access to technology to track a lot of the public transportation as well. In terms of working with the state, I think that our transportation department can be working with the state more to create opportunities to subsidize tickets and trolley cards for students here, especially for low-income students especially. On the housing affordability side, for me, as a candidate for City Council, I really want to push forward not only building more affordable units, but building more affordable neighborhoods. And I think that's a big opportunity where we not only work within Cambridge, but work with making this an affordable place to live and opening up opportunities, whether those be grocery stores or arts and culture access. And I think that's something we can work across lines as well. And then lastly, I just want to add the point on graduate students. We are home to some of the largest and most well-endowed universities here. They're not going anywhere. Right now, over 55% of graduate students are living off of campus, and that's both in Cambridge, but also in the neighboring regions as well. And I think that there are a lot of opportunities to push universities to meet more of the demand for graduate students, because right now about 10,000 units in Cambridge are taken up for short-term rentals for graduate students that could otherwise be long-term solutions for Cambridge families. I mean, I think we can all agree up here that it is a problem that we have residents here who are struggling to afford to actually live in Cambridge. So I'm not going to echo too much of what's already been said, but I do think that there are ways that we can bring new ideas and alternative housing options to Cambridge as well. That comes from anywhere pushing forward more inclusionary zoning, not only with low-income housing, but also 5% for middle-income housing, which was shown to be possible in the feasibility study. I see no reason not to do that. Also, I think that something that hasn't been mentioned that we should be explored as well is the opportunity to build housing co-ops and new ways of providing ways for people to be able to afford to live here as well. I think also really trying to push universities to be more community-minded about real estate development, and that stands for anywhere from the commercial real estate that they're bringing in all the way to, yes, building more graduate student housing. When you look at the people who are looking for housing right now, I think that it's really important to, as city councilors, not only vouch for them in city council, but also beyond that as well, because this isn't a Cambridge-only problem.
Thank you.